I'm gonna need you to repeat that one just for the audience.
But let me tell you something. Men are
say?
trash.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter if they're rich or poor. It's always the same shit over and over and over again. So my thing is like, pick the ones that have the best qualities. I guess is really my
I want to
point,
go
you know?
home. I want to like. Most guys want to go home with the guy on Friday night because he's fucking gorgeous and they're gonna have fun in bed.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go home with the guy on Friday night because we had a lot of fun, but we both were like, hey. Not feeling it? You want to fuck tomorrow morning and grab pancakes? Or do something cool? Like, I want.
I think what you're saying is you want something deeper, a deeper connection.
I want a soulmate. I want
instead of the typical kind of bed hopping, slutty, gay boy behavior. Yeah.
It's like, dude, we can do that too. I don't mind.
But you know, when I was your age, that's when I started feeling that way myself, though, too.
Well, and that's what Bob and Mark taught me. I was like, I saw them get that shit, and then they got to the point in their relationship where they're like, okay, we're comfortable. We can invite somebody new in to spice it up.
Yeah, no, I definitely am not against the free pass here and there, but I definitely would not have a little youngin all up in my house. Or
it's kind of like hot to hear that your partner like had fun, like had an anonymous hookup, and it was like, hey, was he hot? Show me pictures.
I could get down with that, but the thing about it, but here's the situation though, is times I have given people leeway, they obviously take a fucking mile, and it turns into some bullshit, and it destroys any type of trust or desire I have for that person,
so
you know.
Here would be my theory on polyamory going forward.
Polyamory appeals to me because I don't have to give too much. Like if I could check in, check out, that's fine. But like that's the stance I would have to be in that kind of situation.
My stance on it is like wait at least 10 years, get to know each other to the point that you're like super friends, like, and you don't.
Honestly, I wouldn't even wait that long. I would like if it's been good like 6, 7, like 5, 6, 7 years.
You guys know, like, hey,
we're comfortable for sure.
I really like you, and I don't mind if you go have fun.
And as long as the paperwork is correct, I'm okay.
And it's like I'd give the pass on like you don't have to tell me beforehand if it just happens, but try to take pictures and let me know. You know, because I want to see that shit too.
I had Jay go fuck somebody one time and then come home and fuck, and we fucked, and that was hot, and I could smell the sex on him.
Well, that way, like, there's no hang.
But that's the thing is, like, I would give him leeway to do stuff like that, and he'd still cheat on me like a motherfucker. Not only that, but he was carrying on relationships, like, good morning, babe, to someone else. I'd find this one like that. That shit's just fucked up, you know?
And what if he was like, hey, good morning, babe. Sorry I didn't call last night. I met this really cute guy, and like things hit off.
No, he was like carrying on
and
intimate.
Check these
like
pictures out.
he was making people believe that
exactly
they're starting a relationship when he's been in a relationship for 2 fucking years. That kind of shit, you know.
Well,
and the shit I found, like, that's the biggest thing. Like, I never had a high opinion about men to begin with, but he did not help the situation. And when I went through that fight, I told you, after we broke up, I had to, like, stop having sex for, like, 6 months to make sure I was in the clear.
Well, that's why I haven't...
I might say I found some nasty shit. It was nasty. Like, this is how you're getting down the streets and you're in a relationship? Jesus Christ.
That's why I've been, like, kind of running around
Not that, but we had a lot of sex. Like, I don't know, how much sex are you having, you know? Because I had that motherfucker up in that bedroom. We were fucking all the time, you know?
I mean, that's a healthy libido. If you guys really like each other and you're into it and you don't need to take a fucking Viagra to, like...
Oh, the sexual chemistry between us was good, you know? Even when I saw him last time, what I really realized is aesthetically, I love like dark-skinned black men. You know, their skin turns me on, their bodies turn me on.
Really?
Like,
dude, when I see those big old black, like darker than black balls, I'm like, oh my god, that is terrifying.
You know where it comes from? This fucking Nick, the football player. When I was in high school, he banging body, just hot, just gorgeous fucking men. You know.
Well, I think that's what I'm really enjoying about being single right now is like. Kind of like finding my taste in men because like I always had like a very niche taste because it was like what I was in and I was like, oh, this is hot, but always felt bad about hooking up with like younger guys. And, like,
well, the thing about you can have your preference because like if I talk about like my top attraction, that's what it is. But I've been so many gamut of guys, like it goes across the board, you know. Well, and honestly, the less attractive a guy has been, the better in bed he's been too.
And
so
this is honestly why Roman taught me a lot is because. You know, he claims to be sapiosexual, or like he has to really
love. That's like a straight thing.
Love the person, like doesn't matter what guy, girl, gender fluid, whatever. He has to love the person before he has like
isn't that pants?
Mm-hmm.
And like he's attractive, but he wasn't really on my radar. But like when he started getting his meds, and I kind of started talking to him, I was like, yeah, this boy, like this. It's one of those like underrated hot guys you come across, you know.
What's his name? Star-Lord, when he was the Andy character in Parks and Rec, when he was still kind of like chubby and like.
Oh yeah. You know,
if you can make me laugh, I don't care what the fuck you look like.
No, sense of humor definitely goes a long way for sure. Because if you laugh, you're comfortable, then
and if there was any hang up that I had about like the special guy that I met, it was that he kind of got quiet sometimes. And, like, I had to do a lot of the talking.
Oh, yeah, that's
I was like, he didn't leave me hanging too often, but there was times I caught him, like, just, like, messing with his phone and doing things where I was just like, okay. Yeah, I get it. I like my phone, too, but we're on a date.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, I went on a date one time with a guy. He totally was checking another guy out at the table. I was like, we just fucking, man, like you're already lusting after the straight guy at that because he was with his wife having dinner.
Well, the thing that I did appreciate, though, is like he acknowledged it and he was like, oh, my bad, dude. Sometimes I jump on my phone for work and I get carried away. Like,
that's kind of normal, yeah.
And I was like,
but I think we're also in a time where it's like, I can be on my phone and listen to you at the same time. I think we've perfected.
What was crazy about it is like,
but same night, it's like
usually I will do that if I'm bored.
Yeah,
I didn't do that the whole. He like noticed it. He was like, "Dude, you haven't been on your phone like the whole time. Like you've been paying attention and talking to me the whole time." I was like, "Oh yeah, I haven't. That's weird." Like every now and then when the conversation lacked and we were like smoking a cigarette, sure, I'd be like, "All right, what's on?" But then
well, I mean, you gotta be comfortable in the silence too. That's how you know if there's chemistry.
That's exactly. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't want to be chatting all the fucking time, though, too.
Well, and I've had that problem where I'm, like, so self-conscious about the silence that I don't shut up sometimes. And I, like, say some dumb shit or, like, put my foot in my mouth, like, just
yes.
Yeah. So, lesson to all you gay men out there, just...
Actually, that's some advice I'd give you is pay attention because it's like you can make an off comment that may not... it could be fleeting to you, but it could be...
Oh, and my sense of humor is so weird that, like, somebody will take that seriously. They'll be like, what the fuck is that weird thing? Because I did say that once, some weird thing when we were tripping, and he, like, did not get it at all. And I was like, let's move past. I'm not even know if I can explain it. That was just my weird sense of humor.
Just be open to the other person, like, how they think and operate, and...
Well, that's what
you definitely have you have triggers when we talk. Like the biggest triggers I see is Christians are definitely a big trigger for you
because y'all force us into believing that you're right and we're all wrong and we're going
to
hell.
Head, that's what you believe.
That's
but
all
that's not how all
shown
Christians.
By Christians. You're narrowing it down.
No, you're narrowing it down. Like you're not giving the good people who are really trying to be good examples. Why don't you call them
the good ones?
Huh?
Why don't you call them the good ones? Because Christians, to me, I automatically relate.
I know that's your shit. Like
that is my shit. I am figuring it out.
Like relax.
Yeah.
You know, like
I got to deal with that.
Not only that, but you have to understand. Like I think what you don't understand because you're not Christian yet. You know, you didn't grow up in like a Christian household. Is that you don't understand or you haven't experienced the kind of journey that a Christian goes through to kind of solidify and adopt their faith. You know, it's not like you wake up like, oh, I just believe all this shit.
No, I totally understand that because I've found my own journey of finding my version of God.
But you can't discount other people's journey. You can't discount other people's journey just because you have some hang-ups.
I only scoff when you quote the fucking book.
You what?
I only scoff at you guys when you quote the damn book. Like it's.
Well, I mean, it is the foundation of our belief system. Or their beliefs. I only can't say really identify with all that anymore. Exactly. But I'm just saying. But I'm familiar with it, and I know enough to be like, you know, if you want people to respect, you know, like kind of your free thinking and free will, then you need to respect.
That's solid advice.
Not only that, but like yours is something you adopted. A lot of like Christians, like it's a process and a journey, you know. And like some people are you're taught a certain way, and then you go away and you live your life and all that. But then there's people come back to their faith, and like it's a journey for people. So you can't just be like, oh, all Christians are pieces of shit, hypocritical pieces of shit, because that's not true. Actually, the best Christians have a past.
I know it sounds like that I feel that way about all Christians.
Mm-hmm. You generalize a lot, and that's what you need to stop.
Yeah. Well, it's usually the ones that fucking push the Bible so hard because they're like, oh, well, I'm right and you're going to hell because you don't believe in the thing that I believe in.
I know who you're talking. I know what type of Christian you're talking about, but they're not all like that.
Okay. When I meet them, I always am surprised. Where I'm like, oh, yeah, you're cool. You know, if you like Jesus, go for it. Just don't try to fucking force them on me, and don't make me feel like I'm going to hell because I don't believe in your shit.
But a Christian's viewpoint, they're excited and they want to share something that was positive in their life.
And they get sad. They get sad when you don't.
So how about that? Like, relax and don't be so defensive. You know.
Okay, I'll try. I'll give it a solid try.
Has Christianity been a nuisance and a menace in society? Yeah, but a lot of times it's been used and abused. So is
every other written.
What I'm saying. Yeah. A lot of it's been used and abused to control and manipulate. But those aren't people of God. Those are the imposters. Those are the ones you're going to be seeing. If all that was true, you would see on the other side, you know. But they'll be exposed for who they are, you know.
And they usually do. Yeah. And that's why I'm like, oh, I'm pretty sure there is something up there. That's why you see them getting
busted in airport bathrooms, getting a dick suck, or trying to suck dick, or fucking the fucking.
Well, that's why I believe in karma more than I believe in, like, the Holy Spirit. Like.
And look at all those makeup patches that, like, were fucking doing all that shady shit. And it's like, what was that? Ted Haggard was fucking partying, playing. And you absolutely, not only that, but like you,
they deny it, and they get their wives to fucking stand behind them while they know that they are lying to their fucking teeth. And they're like, okay, you're a fucking real solid member of the community. What a pillar of the Christian community right here.
But
we're just going to sweep that under the rug.
In life, if you're going to be a fraudulent fraud, you're going to be exposed for a fraudulent fraud that you are at some point, you know.
So fucking be honest with who you are, and maybe you might just like yourself in the end.
You know, I think there's a lot of factors that play a part in that. I mean, maybe if society was a little bit more loving and accepting, people wouldn't hide in the closet, you know. Even that nurse I told you at that job, I'm like, you're a nurse, it's 2024, like, why are you in the closet? It just seems so stupid to me. You know?
People respect the gay
everyone
ones.
Can see you are gay.
Well, yeah, and they're like, oh, I want the gay ones because they're efficient. They get shit done.
Oh, yeah. But that's not even the I don't know. I just, like, it really baffles me to see closet cases like that, you know?
Well, and I appreciate you.
And what's going to happen is he's just going to come out of the fucking closet, get a boyfriend. Now he's going to be the gay daddy. And she's going to have a gay ex-husband is really what it is.
What would be super funny is, like, if it all turns out to be true and they just started getting shocked by fucking lightning and, like, just...
I'm going to tell you what. When you use the word of God to cover up your nasty, evil, despicable behavior,
like, I swear to God,
while you point your finger at other people, there is a price to pay for that. And not only will you get that price in this life, but there will be an ultimate price to pay.
I got a bad habit of being half honest. Like, I'll give you half truths. I'll be like, yeah, I'll admit to something.
You definitely have a flexible relationship with truth.
The truth? Yeah. That's called the human
condition.
But I think
it comes down to, like, you're optimistic, and you really do try to see not only the best in yourself, but others as well. You know?
I'm willing to accept when I am wrong.
Sometimes you just have to be realistic, and it just is what it is, you know. And, like,
well, I like when you call me out on that shit. That's why this podcast works and why we get along so well. It's because it's genuinely organic discussions. It doesn't have to have, like, a theme all the time. It's we're figuring this out as we go along, people. So, like, yeah, come check us out. We're pretty fun. Anything else?
No.
Do you ever put any cocaine in your butthole?
Any what?
What? You heard what I said.
I don't put any. Put what in my butthole?
Do you put cocaine powder?
No, I know, because I've known people who've OD'd that way. So I was like, I knew a couple guys that OD'd.
Smart.
But I think it's the ecstasy. They stuck pills up their ass and they OD'd is what it was. And whatever pill they had was...
I mean, I certainly rolled my balls off when I put a purple pill of ecstasy up my ass, but then I couldn't hold it in, and I farted, and I stained the fucking white underwear to glow in the dark.
And I've known people who've gotten alcohol poisoning by shooting up their ass and doing all that shit. I'm just,
Shit happens when you party.
I like partying, I like getting high, but I
don't like wasting drugs.
I'm
not gonna stick a fucking pill at my ass if I'm not gonna be able to hold it up there.
I don't need to be super out of my mind high, you know, like.
I don't need to chew off my bottom lip because I'm like.
I hate that when you do, like, your lip is like raw the next day because you fucking doing shit. Yeah, no, I didn't do all that shit. And I've never been to, like, toys. I never did, like, dildos and all that kind of shit. Like,
toys are fun, but, like, I think guys have an unfair...
You know what it is? Like, bottoming to me, like, I get off on the pleasure of who I'm with getting off on me like that.
Yeah.
So anything outside that just never really appealed to me. Because it's painful and it's a chore, you know? It's like, why am I going to do it just to...
What, dildos and shit?
Yeah, like dildo. Like, I just never saw it.
I think some... The ones that I have are to, like, stretch out just in case I know, like, a guy's going to be bigger than I'm, you know, used to.
I've done a couple. I had a dildo, and I did a couple times when I jerked off, and I got that kind of prostate orgasm.
Oh, I don't use them to, like, fully orgasm, like, unless I'm super fucked up and I need to hit that, like, button. But usually I'll get that with a guy and I'm super fucked up. But that's not going to happen until later on in the night, and we've had a really fun night of conversation and doing cool shit, like... And then... You're going to have that fun little fucking, all right, it's time, I'm going to come. But I don't like using a dildo to, like, just get off. Like, I think that's damaging to your booty hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, you stretch yourself out to making for no reason, really.
I mean,
like,
Dr.
like
Drew says nothing bigger than the okay symbol. Actually, I agree. Listen to him.
Christ said, love thy neighbor as you love thyself. Hating someone for their race is absurd. Or thinking you're better just because of the color of your skin is absolutely absurd.
Hey, why do you think I have such a gripe with the fucking Christians? And any kind of written religion, too.
We are better than most people, though.
Well, technically the Jewish people
even
are the chosen ones.
Even half Christians over here are kind of better than you, you know.
I think we're all retarded and no one knows what we're doing here. And... The only person who's actually smart enough to say anything smart would be like, hey, I don't actually know, but I'm learning.
Hunter,
I'm trying to figure
it's okay
it out.
If you think you're retarded and you don't know what you're doing here, but not everyone feels that way. So
I might be. I'm too scared to get tested.
You can't mask
I'm too scared
your experience on everybody else.
Nice.
One thing I do miss, like, I don't really identify as anything really as far as spirituality right now, but I do miss having kind of that, like, that kind of practice and that tradition in my life, you know, because it does add
I think it gives value to people. Yeah, I think it gives value to people who find value in it. I just don't think you should let it control your life. And, like,
the thing about it is, like, if it does, there's nothing negative that's really could come out of it, because it's really just focused. Like, if you're practicing the message of Christ, you're
shouldn't have to
living in love and peace, and you're okay with your salvation. Yeah,
God's love is the kind of thing that you don't really need to earn if you actually have it. You know,
you don't earn God's love. You know, it's automatic.
You already have it. Yeah, so you don't need to earn it.
I mean, would your child have to earn your love? I mean,
exactly. I don't know. I think that's where...
I thought about getting back into yoga and Buddhism because it's not a heavy religious commitment, but I think it would give me a little
Can I offer you a new choice? It's the one that I'm creating.
No. I don't follow false gods.
I'm not a god.
I know.
And I'm not a religion. I'm just a way of thinking about life.
It sounds cultish, so no.
Well, you won't have to fuck anybody unless you want to.
I know that.
Cool. It's free to join up. All you got to do is just leave your baggage at the door and come have a fun time when we're here.
No, if I'm going to have a spiritual guru, I want him to be super hot with a big old dick, and I want him to sexually abuse me every chance he gets.
Well, and that's your journey or your hang up. So you have fun dealing with that.
It's not a hang up. It's just, it would be fun.
That's cool. That's your trip. Enjoy that. I'm going to do my thing. You do your thing. At the end, we'll meet up and compare notes. Sound good?
I feel like I had more fun.
I don't know. I've been having a lot of fun.
I'm become a Scientologist.
I think that's the point of my religion is who had the most fun.
We should go to the Scientology Center downtown and see if they'll let us in.
Oh.
Dude, we should film it too.
Dude, what do you guys think? Should we fucking do it?
What we could do like a full episode on like all my experience.
Yo, I love social experiments, dude. What do you guys think? If you guys,
oh my god, what they really do? They'll probably kill me at this point.
Yo,
shit.
all right.
Be like this motherfucker.
Patreon idea. If you guys want to see,
they add you to the list and kill me is probably what they would do.
I'm down to do it. If you guys are down to chuck a buck to Patreon, we'll start doing those little kind of skits and shit.
They won't let us down. I can tell you that right now.
Oh, they don't have to.
I know, but it would be very interesting to see that whole.
Yeah, there's these little things called cameras that are pretty small nowadays. I pass by
and I look at like the people that are like in the parking lot and all that.
Mm-hmm.
It's so interesting to see like that's.
I really want to mess with the Mormons.
I liked the Mormons actually. Of all the sectors of Christianity, they were probably they're the ones.
I don't hate them. I just think they are so silly. I'm like, you guys can have soda. It's okay.
It's good. I gave a Lyft ride to a guy that moved just from Salt Lake City, and he was a drug dealer in Salt Lake City.
Oh, they go buck wild.
And like for a second, I was like, oh wait, they're Mormon. I was like, he said the business was good, and they love.
Oh, I am
Xanax
sure.
was his top fucking.
Yeah,
because they're all stressed out with all that fucking bullshit.
So this Bible that we're reading doesn't make any sense. There's a seeing stone, and there's a fucking I don't know.
I fucked a Mormon guy too. Oh, the boyfriend, the girl that I was friends with, her boyfriend was Mormon, and that's the one I hooked up with.
I would love to rock a Amish dude's world, just like a repressed Amish dude from fucking Pennsylvania. He goes on Rumspringer and he like sees a dick for the first time and he's like, ah. I'm like,
probably, yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Because when they think it's like sin, like they enjoy it a little bit more.
They get down on that shit.
I never seen like hot Amish guys.
Also, another idea for Patreon. Reverse Rumspringer. Go help them for a week and see how they live without fucking cell phones and shit. Just see if we could do it.
Cell phones now.
Nowadays, they kind of they were like, oh, we didn't know these things were coming around. We'll do these things.
And you have to understand though too, in those heavy religious kind of sectors and cults, they're criminals too. Like they do a lot of scamming type shit to fund their religion and all that. You know. Scientology is a perfect example of that. They will
Scientology
do porn,
is
like
the
people
best
that,
example
the shit
of that.
they do on the side to pay for those classes and shit is very sus.
Well, and the thing that I'm like, you guys do realize this is the weirdest sounding fucking bullshit that they're feeding you. Like a science fiction writer wrote this fucking church for a tax write-off. Let's be honest. And now they're just blackmailing people to give them their money.
So horrible. And how they get away with it, I'll never understand.
Because they're like, hey, we're getting a tax exempt. Fucking don't fuck this up.
You know what? The whole tax thing, like I say, like you've seen the documentaries and all that. They targeted the top decision makers in the IRS, and you know what? I know exactly what they did. They fucking harassed the shit out of them. They pulled all the fucking intel, and everyone has a fucking secret. So if anyone's fucking cheating on their wives or any of that shit, be like, hey. They definitely forced that little situation. And I know exactly how they did it, too.
Why do you think I fucking put everything out there? I'm like, dude, you can't tell the world something I don't already tell them. Like,
but it's different if like you're a professional and you're married and all that kind of shit. I mean,
I think that's such horseshit. It's like, dude, you want to fucking blackmail somebody's fucking livelihood because they're a person that makes mistakes every now and then?
Yes, they don't care.
Yeah,
they
that's
do it
evil.
To their own church members. Can you imagine how
that sounds
it's free game is what it is. Because when my targeting started, there was a lot of Scientology that popped up. And I thought Scientologists only targeted each other, right? But no, if you're deemed a criminal, then you're free game. And homosexual is a criminal. So I was free game. So that's how... Says L. Ron Hubbard.
What, this crazy fucking Navy guy who created his own... Yeah, dude. I'm sorry. That's too new. I don't believe it. It's not old enough to be a religion.
I agree.
Alrighty, guys. Tune in if you want to catch more of that. That's just a taste.
I'd have to take, like, notes to really...
Well, then motherfuckers start taking notes, because I don't want to be the only one here sitting up at, like, 4 a.m. trying to listen to the things like, oh, I think he might want to hear this. I'll have to be like, here... 4 minutes in, whatever, 20 seconds in, how do you feel about that? Sound good?
Yeah, no, whatever. Yeah, no, we'll come up with the process for sure.
Yep. And we expect you guys who tune in to let us know, too. Like, we're not trying to fail. We're not trying to be boring. Let us know if we're sucking, if we're mumbling or not being coherent enough. We want to make this a little something for the gay community to pass along some positive energy and teach these young, hateful, spiteful, negative gays to respect their older elders. Good older... God, not the... Gay older daddies. Good older dudes. I don't know. We're still trying to figure out a fucking name and an abbreviation for genuinely organic discussions. That also goes with G.O.D.cast, because, the most important